Hello, how are you? I hope that you're enjoying this lovely starting of the week. Um, Let me see if can you see me, guys? Yes, I think that you are seeing me now. So, hello one more time, and welcome to this sixth week. We are going to get started, and my name is Jacqueline Riverol, and let me change my screen. Okay, today we are going to see some important information about the units from number 1 to 7. Okay, according to the learning expected, you are going to identify the terms about the English for specific purposes in this kind, the business. And we are going to remember, guys, all of this information has been very useful because, as you know, when you run a company, it's not so easy. You need to start thinking about the structure of a company. For that, in the unit number 1, you realize how it's important to keep certain job positions that fits according to the profile that you are requiring. For example, the CEO. Most of you recognize that this job position has a lot of responsibility in a company because this is on the top of the company. And then we have another specific departments, for example, the sales marketing, the operations, the human resources, and the financial management. I consider that all of them are very important for a company. I remember that in the forum you mentioned some of you that you prefer the human resources, and another tell me that you prefer the sales and marketing because you consider that um, give a little piece to the world is very important. How can you do it? Through the sales and the marketing. And that is very important because imagine that a company that can sell a big amount of good, any, any kind of good, that is the purpose of a company. The success of a company is that they are able to keep a good standard of sales to the world. That is the purpose of a company. So, in general, I really liked all your comments about the job positions that you can choose. Then, do you remember what was the lower apartment? Yes, do you remember that? Well, that is the work, all the people that work. In this case, like for example, the operational workers. I consider that they are very important for a company also, uh, because if we have a good environmental way to keep all of them working happily, uh, with a motivational way to improve all the production, that could be a good detail to have a good success. Or what do you think, guys? And then we have the profile for each job position because it depends on. Um, I know that the knowledgement is very important, but now we have another special skills. Can you remind me what kind of skills? Yes, it's not just to have a lot of knowledgement. It's not all that a company requires. It goes further. For example, the ability to follow directions, the emotional quotient or intelligence. That is very important. The leadership, yes, the integrity, the commitment, and also the empathy. If I ask you which one of them do you consider that as the most important, what can you say? Well, for me, it's a mix because, for example, in the university here, um, you need to develop all of them to have a good way to achieve your goals. Okay, and then we see another topic that is very important too, the foreign exchange. The foreign exchange is one of the most important topic around of the world because, for example, the dollar. This is a specific currency that sets the price that can um, be increasing or decreasing, depending. But the dollar never changes. It most common for the Mexican peso or another kind of foreign exchange, another kind of currency. Okay, so for a company, one of the challenge could be to set the price that they are going to buy. I don't know, maybe a good or a material or I don't know, another kind of a shopping because in the budget needs to take into account the price that is going to be established in order that when you sell a product, the most important is to have money, okay, in a lucrative way, not just to lose all the investment that you have done just because you didn't plan or you didn't do your correct plan um, to avoid this kind of changes in the uh, exchange of the currency. Okay, that is the way that everything around of the world is being sold in dollars because the dollar is always increasing. Okay, another important topic is the taxes. And what do you remember about this topic? Okay, when you are selling your goods with another country, you need to pay a special price uh, just to move the the goods from a country to another. Okay, but that is the purpose of the trades, the international trades, to keep lower prices in the taxes. Because if you have a low tax, it's probably that you can have more money when you are selling something. Okay, so refer to the taxes are applied to the entry or exit of goods. Okay, another topic that we reviewed was the elements of a contract. And as you say in the forum, because I had the opportunity to read all of you, and you mentioned that a challenge for a contract is, first of all, the language, the legal system, and there are important points to take into account when you are celebrating a contract with another company. Okay? Um, Even in Spanish, when you celebrate a contract with another person, it has to be with the good faith. Most of them in the international contracts. the good faith, because for international organizations, they defend this way, because you are going to do um, an international an international agreement, but in order to be a lucrative way to earn money. Okay, so imagine that if you're celebrating a contract, but since the beginning you can see that there are some clauses that are not very clear for one of the part, so it can cause nullity. Okay, so before to sign a contract, you need to see that the acceptance is very important. The object that makes an origin of a contract, that is very important, because you can celebrate a contract with the selling of organs or drugs or weapons, or no, that is not legal. Okay, so the object of the contract is very important. Most of them is the selling of goods. Okay, so another concept important was the tender, and the tender is very easy to understand. For example, imagine that for the government, they open a tender request in order to look for the best price to buy something. That is the purpose of a tender. Okay, so companies, they offer their products and maybe the services, and the best price is going to win. Okay, that is the purpose of a tender. Another important point for a company is the accountability, guys. Because imagine that if you don't have a good accountability system, um, you can be very easy to break your company, because uh, they study since the assets and the liabilities. Okay, what do you understand for assets? Yes, is for example the items of value, the business owns in the items, that generates revenue for the business and provide long-term benefits to the business. And liability is the opposite, because they are related to the debts. Okay, and can be used to purchase assets, may help finance business operations, and are expense for the business. So it's the opposite totally. So you need to be very equilibrated to this point in order to have um, a good planning. Okay, and the research and development. What is the purpose? Okay, if you are a company that you need to be very competitive, because we are in an international business, so you need to have a special department to do the research in order to fulfill all the customers' needs. Okay, that is the purpose. And development, because it's the same, okay, to improve their existing products and services. So the challenge is how your company is going to do it. And another important thing is the budget, because it depends of the finance, the cash, the expenses, the counting, and the saving. So in general, guys, all of these terms are so important for a company. Ah, I forgot to tell you the inventory. Um, because you can have a lot of goods or things that you don't need because maybe they haven't sold. Uh, for a company, it is necessary to move all the goods in order to have the entries for money. And with a good inventory, you know, if you need to produce more uh, goods, or maybe to stop until they are being sold. Okay, so, and another, the logistics. Once that you have the budget, the inventory, how you are going to sell, what kind of transportation you're going to choose. Maybe the plane, maybe by trucks, or maybe by the ocean. Okay, and it's very important because it depends on the cost. You know, by plane is a lower price than on the way. Okay, and also when they sell, I don't know, maybe some goods from China in by the ocean, uh, they are cheaper, but the delivery time, it's very long. So I prefer the plane delivery, but it depends on the company and also the taxes they need to pay. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for seeing me, and see you in class. Remember, if you have any question, any comment, just let me know. And remember that the next week we are going to have the test number 3. Okay, my pleasure. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.